Traveling with the queen of rock and roll. The COVID hit, now we're stuck at home. Instead of sitting on our ass, we came up with this sick podcast. Crewicide, Crewicide. Out of my way, you're in my line. Crewicide, Crewicide. The main four pitch that sticks all night. Crewicide, Crewicide. Ha 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 ha. Crewicide, Crewicide. No autographs tonight. Can I get a set list, man? Hey, set list, please. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crewicide podcast. I'm your host, Billy Crater. No, I'm just joking. That was the worst Billy Crater ever. Welcome to the Crewicide podcast. It's Annie Stoic.
And Beef Henderson.
Yes. What's up, Annie?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm all right. I got a couple of things that are picking my bone this week.
All right. What is it? Let's hear it.
Well, first things first. I don't know. Just fucking everything sucks, you know? Obviously, it's the end of 2020. Everyone's waiting to get out of 2020. And I feel like the expectation of 2021 is like, everything's going to be better. But I'm like, is it?
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Is it, though? Is it? Are we going to be able to work again? I don't know.
You know, the industry obviously is still fucked at the moment. But, you know, work will come back. It's just a matter of when. Read those trade magazines.
Right. Yeah. I know it's going to be, I don't know, maybe the summer if all goes well, maybe.
I would also concentrate as I look at these trends and, you know, I start thinking of things because, again, I'm in the business 20 years. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. International will be first for Americans to even tour in.
Oh, yeah. Like, if Americans want to tour, they should go to Europe.
At this point, yes.
Yeah.
Or Australia.
For sure.
The most remote places, you're gonna see it. It's another fucking prediction. You know, and also I had another idea or another like thought. I feel like the lounge singer and the lounge act is gonna come back again with all types of musicians or celebrities or whatever that are looking for work and haven't worked in a while. You're going to see a lot of weird shit. I have a prediction that movie theaters will end up sectioning off into like mini lounge acts where they have like, you know, okay, they got all night. They got like, you know, 2 comedy acts in one of the little theaters. And then they've got a music act in the next one where they're either rotating through the night. So there's less people in each room, but the artist is still playing. They could sell out movie theaters everywhere for a week. Any artist, any major artist.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, for sure. I do think there's going to be a lot of like solo acts and like less bigger productions maybe starting at first.
Right.
To like limit the amount of people going out, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's certainly a thing, I guess.
I mean, you know, the artists have to understand that no government or country or, you know, is going to allow a large scale production unless everything is
A-okay.
Yeah, at the moment. A-okay at the moment. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to try and get you at the end of the podcast, I'll send it to you or whatever, and you can throw it in here in a little blip. But I saw these things, a company called Backline Source has invested some money into renting units that will desanitize and check people for any type of not COVID, but like, you know, like shit, you know.
Right.
It's I've seen these things. They're almost like X-ray booths at the airport.
Okay, yeah.
And that's going to be coming into play. And I think American the American concert, live show market is going to absolutely have that. Tickets are just going to get more expensive because there's more preventative measures. And if you want to see the show, you're going to have to pay more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's sad.
Sure.
It's sad.
Yeah. It's going to be, I think we're still in for a longer haul here,
Yeah, we are. It's not over yet. It's not going to be over. I read a lot about it, but also like Live Nation, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. I know someone did a broadcast the other day, but it's just kind of like until like the health like insurances really go through, which they don't really exist right now because this is a new thing that it's going to be hard to get approved to do shows and things like that,
Especially with insurance. A lot of people don't understand that aspect.
Right, because that's
promoter,
like, yeah. No, that's what he was saying. He was like, all these places have so much like insurance things and whatever, like way above, like stuff. I don't really know about this, but like every venue and promoter and band and blah blah, like everyone has their own insurances, so that if something happens, like someone is going to be covered, But with this is a new disease pandemic that there's literally not an insurance for it. So they're like working on that. And if they need to get something improved by the, higher ups in the in the world for anything to happen, especially with like big major productions and big theaters, big stadiums, things like that. Like that's where,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. For those of you who are not familiar with how a concert promoting on the most basic level, this is how it goes. I am a promoter. I want Annie's band to come play at my place. Annie's band has played little tiny bars and shitholes. My club is a bit bigger. I'm going to guarantee them money and make sure they are safe and they eat and they get certain things to come play my club. And as a promoter, I have to have insurance on the most basic level. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Right. And when you get bigger and bigger and bigger, that stuff gets way bigger and more complicated and more way over.
Right. As it is,
yeah.
Why don't you give us a rundown of a typical tour Jackknife might do with the types of clubs and theaters? Because you guys started actually playing a bit bigger venues, towards the end of COVID. And you guys were really getting on some great shows. You had that Bowling for Soup show. Oh.
I know, yeah. And it's scheduled for September of next year.
That's all right. Take it, right?
yeah, we're still on it. So, but I mean, at our level with playing small bars, things like that across the country, like there's no
liability for you.
There's no liability. No, I mean, our band is, we're incorporated. We're like, if like something happened at our show or something, like there's things you have to like still worry about as a small band. Like, what if someone crowd surfs at your show and gets hurt?
Hey, yeah, what if?
Yeah, what if beef? But even like a smaller venue, because you were at like a legitimate like House of Blues, like that is a legit.
They made me sign an insurance waiver.
Right. So they were already like on top of you,
Wow.
But like small clubs, they don't, they don't even pay their ASCAP BMI fees. Like what, who knows what type of, insurance that, they have and stuff like that. But those are things to think about. It's like, well, is the venue liable? Is the band liable? Is, who's liable for causing a mosh pit? Or, usually it's the bar, and their security, things like that. But it's still like people could sue your band for
pretty much.
It's great. It's crazy. So that's why a lot of bands, I'm sure I don't know about it, but
a famous drummer told me a story about why he doesn't throw sticks out anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I said, well, why? You just throw them to the fans. That's what every fan wants. Yeah, but if you hit, he told me the story about during the heyday of a major band that he was touring with. He threw his sticks out to the audience, hit somebody in the head, and they sued the fucking band.
Yeah.
And that was like, the band was on top of the world, claiming, oh my God, my head, I slipped after I fell on the drumstick, I hit my head, blah, blah. They had to settle it. And anything that people can do to be associated with, oh, I'm closer to the band now, or in any way, they'll fucking do it. And as a small band, you got to look out. You really do.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem. My band is never going to be large.
That's why guitar picks are the only thing thrown out.
Yes, they can. And set lists.
Yeah, and set lists.
Oh, you got a paper cut? Sue me.
Although one time there was some guy, I was getting them all off the stage, when they're like gaff taped, like most of them get ripped and disgusting, and most of them aren't usable, but if I'm able to get to them, I'll throw one out once in a while. But this guy was like severely yelling at me, and it's like one thing when like people are like, hey, can I have one, when like people are being nice and like really want one, like okay, but then there's like nasty people that will like yell and curse at you, and I'm like, so I handed him a ball of gaff tape set list, and I said, sure, here you go, I didn't like try, I underhanded it to him, but I was like, sure, you want set list? Here you go.
I used to
but they were garbage anyway. I'm like, here, if you want to, get a set list out of this, have at it, buddy.
Basically. That's so funny. I mean, yeah, oh wow, now we're moving on to crazy ravenous fans. So how many times do you get well, I encourage it, all the Crewicide guys, go say hi to Annie. I always say that. Because if they're watching all 6 of them, it's like, oh hey, I know you. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times a night do you get the fucking, hey, yo, put the red light on or do the strobe, man. Do the strobe.
Honestly, a lot of people come up to me at front of house about sound.
Oh, you gotta talk to Billy, not me.
Like, yeah, and it's not, because they don't know, who's running sound, who's running lights. They just don't.
They don't know.
They come up and they're like, "Hey, can you turn the bass up?" And I'm like, "I do lights. I don't know what to tell you, man." And sometimes they'll like be persistent. I'm like, "That's not my job. That's not what I'm doing here." Like,
you're like, shut the fuck up.
I'm like, I'm doing, and I usually, I just ignore then because I'm working, but once in a while they'll like stand in front of Billy too and be like, hey, or they'll just even be like, it sounds really great, and he's like, okay, like, okay,
get the fuck out of here.
I think one time someone came up to me with a Joan Barbie doll and was like, can she sign this after? I'm like, get out of the way, like stood in front of my view line with a Barbie doll. I was like, can Joan sign this after? I'm like, get out of the way. It's like during the show, like, come on,
I used to, of course, I used to throw the sticks when I first started, and then I was warned not to do it by a certain drummer.
Yeah.
And, I didn't want, Tommy told me don't do it. It's just not worth it. And I didn't do it. So I would give them away, and then I'd give away,
a light toss.
Yeah, not even. And it was usually be to like a young girl or something, like the little girls or the little kids, because
right.
It's kids. And then if there's anything left, I give it to the adults. And then, I'm at the end of the show. There's nothing left to give. I'm starting to break cymbals down.
Yeah.
You know what I used to do. I used to take the cymbal off to the guy sitting there, give us something. And I'd say, okay. And I'd fake throw the cymbal at him, Watch that, asshole. I'm just joking. But no, I do that because it was fucking funny. But yeah, man, people can be annoying, but there's guys out there and people out there that are respectful and understand how to do it, and that's why they
Right.
get treated the way they get treated. And then they go on message boards and be like, "Oh, this guy's so cool. He thinks he can get this and that." And it's like, well, you act like a dick at a show. Or am I going to give it to you, the loudmouth, or am I going to give it to the guy who says, "Hey, it's for my girl right here," and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to give it to him."
Yeah, they usually after the show they'll like wait for the encore, like in between encores, and be like, "Can I have the set list now?" And I'm like, "When the show's over?" Like,
Yeah.
I know there might be like 2 or 3 songs left, but I like to have my set list because I put notes on it and stuff like that.
People don't get it.
But
They
like
just
some
don't
people
get
come
it.
up to like before the show and be like, "Hey, do you mind if I have the set list after the show?" I'm like, "Sure, come on up after."
There you
No
go. That's how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not annoying me, but I'm not annoyed by it, and it's saying after the
No.
show, so I'm like, all right, I'll give it to you.
Right. Yeah. No, not at all. Like, I don't, any stuff that they want, like,
Yeah,
sure,
that's
like,
how I was.
and we're able to give it out from, whatever artist, then sure. Everyone, I have set lists from bands I don't have a
Speaking
lot,
of which,
but
we'll segue to another segment. Hold on.
okay.
Sorry. I have recently found some of my set lists.
Oh, you have a lot.
These are some of my set lists.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are Joan, but can I go through them with you for a bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay, let's go through some of the ones that are recognized immediately. The classic. Madison Square Garden with The Who.
That looks like an hour set list. Does it say 60 minutes on the bottom?
It got torn, but it's Madison Square Garden with The Who.
Nice.
So there's a recognizable one, of course.
And I am a printer of most set lists in the past 10 years.
That's right. That's right. When you get on this podcast, you learn the inside information.
The inside. Yeah, here's all the gossip. I print set lists.
And I give them away. But
Times New Roman font, size 12. No, probably like 7, size 18.
Yeah, this was the Who set list.
Nice.
From Madison Square Garden. Here's another great gig that I got, which you're gonna love this too. You remember this one?
Oh yes, actually,
the day sheet.
That was the first day that Dave Grohl used his chair when he broke his leg.
That's right. And
I had my scooter backstage,
yes.
and we had a scooter race in the back.
It's true. I remember that.
And he had the knee one where like he was rolling on his knee or whatever. But he's like, "Oh, let's race," and I'm like, "You think that's a good idea?"
Right.
You don't need to, but I remember they were testing. They were trying to get him out into the crowd over like on a chair. They were trying to get the
They
chair
were going to fly him out there.
But they put Taylor Hawkins on there to test it, and they're like,
nah,
we're not really, we're not really feeling this. But that was a cool show. That was a very cool show.
I got some Korean K-pop money from some gig I did at the Hammerstein with some crazy K-pop people.
Wait, what is that?
K-pop money.
Oh.
Yeah. This would be from Bank of Dream Factory, Lee Sung-won, and this would be $1 billion.
Nice.
We got some hip-hop, Janelle Monáe. Oh, this is a great one. This is great. This is a Huey Lewis in the News.
Nice.
Heart of Rock and Roll, This Is It, New Drug, which, as everyone knows, was the song based on Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters ripped off New Drug because Huey Lewis in the News was supposed to do the Ghostbusters theme song, and they didn't want to pay him, so they heard the track and they had Ray Parker do it. So that's funny. Here's the Roots. October 23rd. This is Little Kids Rock.
Oh yeah.
There's Cheap Trick up there. Well, this is a hand note. This might actually be Jones.
I think it is. Yeah, that was a really cool gig. That's where they met Hal.
Yeah, that's where they met Hal. Absolutely, in the rehearsals.
Hal B. Seltzer.
Hal B. Seltzer. And you know what? That would make a good guest. Why haven't we even thought about asking him yet?
Oh yeah, we could ask Hal.
And he'll totally be on. Oh yeah, sure.
Bruce wants to be on.
Oh, look at that dog. Hey, Brucey. Hey, Brucey. This is Maroon 5 when I worked for Maroon 5 at a private party.
Fun.
Although it says Ben Salem Casino, this is actually the last ever show that Jethro Tull did in New York, and they're never coming back to the States again. So this is the last show they ever did in New York at Forest Hills. Oh, here's a good one. I won't get too into details because I completely blow this story out of proportion, but here's the Gin Blossoms from Dubuque, Iowa.
I remember that show.
I remember that show.
You know who else? Who else played? Was it like Kevin Costner's band?
Wait.
Is that it?
Modern West.
Mm-hmm.
So these go together. Kevin Costner, who I gave him and his entire family an entire set of Joan picks. Whites, yellows, blues,
Yeah.
I gave him an entire set. And he was like, thank you. And I was like, no, thank you.
Yes.
But that was a good one. That was a good show. I remember Robin Wilson was really cool. And he lives in Valley Stream, apparently.
Oh, yeah. He was really nice.
Yeah, he's cool, dude. What is this? Oh, hell yeah. This is Snoop Dogg, baby. 5 years ago.
Oh.
That's pretty cool. Here's the Forest Hills Joan show. Oh, and here's the set list from the actual Foo Fighters list.
Oh, from RFK?
Yeah, RFK. Ooh, this is a good one. For all you old school rock and rollers. Jack Bruce of Cream. I got one of his set lists.
Nice.
I'm sure you know what this is, just by the first songs. Hall & Oates. Maneater.
It's a short set list.
I know. It was like a radio thing they did.
Yeah.
Here's another one, another gala I did with Jackson Brown. That's pretty cool. We're getting through it. I'm just filling up time here. It's like we'll do this one later. This is from Chic, the famous Nile Rodgers and Chic.
Nice.
I've worked with him before. We'll throw these for last. This is actually a good one. Oh, here's from Long Island, the Jones show with the Who. And then there's like several blank Joan ones. I don't know where they're from. They're just generics.
Oh, generic set lists.
Oh, hey, just generics. If you want to change it, that was 2 shows ago,
Yeah.
But here's a Liz Phair for all you indie rocker. And we got a couple of Jonas Brothers because, I love the Jonas.
Mm-hmm.
That was from their New York show. And I also did the MTV Music Awards with them. And that's where my Jonas, my thing comes from. And I did the video. That video, they did it at the box. It was at the burlesque show. I forgot it was Humans Only or Only Human was the name of the song. I don't know. But yeah, like several generic Joan set lists. I'll stop here in a minute, and we'll get to some of my favorite set lists. And this is only some that I found. I know I have a typo negative. I have the Eagles set list from the night that they were inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I worked that gig for SIR. So when I was there. Okay, so here is another coveted set list, my Cheap Trick set list, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Rick Nielsen hand drew the band on the back.
That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I love them. They're great.
They're our favorite.
Mm-hmm.
We love them. Annie has opened up for them.
Yeah. Yeah, they were so cool.
They're really awesome. And then this is one of my most favorite set lists. Although it says Budokan, it was really from the last time ever Paul Simon played with Art Garfunkel. Simon and
Mm.
Garfunkel. This is a Simon and Garfunkel song.
Wow.
That's a good one. And that's what I've found so far. And I'm sorry I dragged you into this, Annie.
No, I love this. This is great.
I know. That's fucking boring.
I know I had a Rancid one from Irving Plaza.
Oh,
and
please, can you take me to one of their shows with you, please?
I know I haven't. They haven't played.
I know, but I couldn't even get into the last few, and you were like, "I got in." I couldn't get anyone else in, and I was like, "Okay."
Oh, when they did Coney Island.
Yeah, I wanted to go so bad. I love him.
Yeah,
no, you know what I mean. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And Tim loves fucking jackknife stiletto people.
Actually, the last time I saw them was in San Antonio or Austin. I actually went to go see them, which is cool. It was so weird to see Rancid outside of New York.
Of course, so much fun.
You don't think about like some of the that song Olympia. That's like New York City. Like they don't sing it as hardcore as New York does.
Oh,
and it's so weird to be like, why aren't they like screaming New York City? And you're like, oh wait, we're not in New York City, so it's like way overboard when you play around the New York area. So I was like, well, that's so interesting.
I love that song.
Yeah,
I really do. That's one of my favorite songs, actually.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, Rancid is just. I met Tim with you the first time. Now let's talk about people we've met on the road.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I do have one more set list that I know I have. Eddie Money.
Oh, you got to frame it.
Gotta have it. Yeah.
And you have to put a quote underneath it. His joke about the cat.
Oh, yeah. We can't say that.
Why not?
That's totally inappropriate.
All right, you know what? Let's keep that between you and Eddie.
Yeah, well, I mean, he said it in front of a bunch of people, but
I'm not going to say it.
It's very inappropriate to say, but it was hilarious, and Eddie Money was a very funny, hilarious man.
Out of all the people that Joan has played with over the years, steadily with, I was never at an Eddie Money gig.
Really?
Or Foreigner, and they've played so many times with Foreigner.
Actually, Foreigner, we just did one last year. That was the first time I ever saw them.
Yeah, I never played with Foreigner. And I have ties to them through my old buddy Justin Borges, who was an SIR guy who Joe Muller knows real well. Mm-hmm. He was his mother and father were like the accounting company for them for like 25 years. So he grew up around all those guys, and like his dad was really good friends with, what's his name? Mick Jones, not Mick Jones, Mick, the guitarists. Mm-hmm. And he grew up with him and like all of them, as a kid, and he worked for them for years doing light and sound. And they were really cool people. I knew their tech. Oh, what was his name? But, as many gigs as Joan did with them, I came after a time where she wasn't doing gigs with them, It was it was Foghat. We played so many times with Foghat.
That's right. I still haven't seen Reo Speedwagon.
Oh, I did a gig with Reo. Oh, this is great. It was Reo Speedwagon, us in Colorado. And I believe it hailed. That was when it hailed the 3 nights in a row. And three gigs in a row with me and Zach. Zach and I did a run where it was Miami. No, it started in Colorado. Then it was in New Mexico, Colorado, then Miami. Mm-hmm. The triangle of death they love to do. Out in the middle of fucking, the Great West and the Great Plains, and then shoot you over to fucking Miami for a gig the next day at the fucking, for the baseball. So we get to New Mexico, I believe was first or second. And I have a picture of this where I'm running through the hail. It hailed, and there was 60,000 people at the Air Balloon Festival.
Oh my God.
That was a huge crowd because it's a huge festival out there that they do in New Mexico, an outdoor thing. And Joan was headlining. I think actually Blue Oyster Cult might have been there that night. And but that wasn't the night that I got to play the fucking for Blue Oyster Cult. They let me do it one night
the cowbell.
The cowbell. Their old tech. I knew him. I think his name was Justin. We were good friends. It might not have been Justin. It might have been James. But we were friends for a while, and they let me do it. We get to Colorado, and we get to New Mexico, and it hails in front of 60,000 people, and the show goes on after the hail. Then we go to Colorado, and we play with Reo Speedwagon. But we get there, and it's a rodeo festival. And as soon as we pull up to the grounds, Billy starts going, because it smelled like shit. So you know how Billy gets. Oh, man.
Billy hates the smell of shit.
He hates the smell.
I mean, I don't know who likes the smell of shit, but Billy will let you know that he does not like the smell of cow shit at a state fair.
Oh, my God. He hates it. So we get up there, and he's like, oh, and they tractor the stage out because during the daytime, the rodeo bowl outside it's all for rodeo shit. So we set up behind it, and they had this huge 3 or 4 tractors just pull the stage out and place it. And we were like, whoa, it was really cool. And then we played in I keep calling him Air Supply. Reo Speedwagon plays, and Billy's up there, and he's like, I love this part. He's like, I want to see if he does it. Kevin Cronin, the lead singer of Reo Speedwagon, does this thing in one of the songs, and Billy starts to do it with him because we were at front of house, but Kevin Cronin cuts it off and goes into something different, and Billy's like doing it, and everyone's like looking at him around, and Billy's like, oh, it was funny. He's like, he didn't do it. He was so disappointed. But they're really good live. They're very good live.
Yeah, they're a band I never worked with. We did the Styx tour, and they were like, you've never seen all we do is tour with Reo Speedwagon. And I'm like, never seen them. We never.
We did a lot with Loverboy. Remember Loverboy?
Did a few gigs with them. Yeah, they were really nice.
Yeah, I did a lot with Loverboy before you came along, and then we did a couple more when I came back when you were, in there. And of course, our buddy Jack Blades, your boy.
Oh, yeah, Night Ranger.
Oh, we love Night Ranger.
Yeah.
I have a Night Ranger stick. He's a great drummer.
Actually, I think I have a signed photo of them. I don't think it's here. It might be at my mom's. Yeah, they're really nice. They're super nice.
Bay Area natives. Remember the time we went to San Francisco?
Yes.
And you went to the aquarium, yeah?
Oh yeah.
And me and Brandon went on our mission.
Yes, that's right. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the aquarium, you guys go on your mission.
And I was like, we'll meet you at the aquarium. You're like, yeah, right.
Right. I was like, I'll get it done in an hour. And I was like, we'll try. So we went on a mission to go find me some fucking San Francisco baby goo. Yeah, San Francisco treats. Yes.
And we ended up coming back, and we took the ferry back over. And that night I was just sitting there smoking the pen in the shed at the Marin County Fair, getting high as watching Night Ranger, in the hometown, and Sister Christian. It's written about his sister, the drummer's sister.
Motorin. So I had to throw it in there.
What's your price for flying?
Yeah, every time we would do a show with them the week before and the week after, I'd be yelling Motorin to Brandon. Because he'd be like, no, it's stuck in my head too.
Oh, I love that piece of shit.
It's one of those songs that just are just stuck in your head. Now it's going to be stuck in my head too.
I don't know. It's just real funny because, Brandon is so funny. I mean, he was there that night with me and you, and of course that I always get, I don't think maybe it might have been that night I took the mushrooms with, in the hotel. I'm not saying if anyone else did. I'm saying I took them. So,
Right. I think someone. I mean, it wasn't me, but someone else.
Was that the night? I'm like Motorhead. I always get that confused. But was it Night Ranger? Was that the night where we were at the carnival and we all went for a dip in the pool?
I think so.
That had to be because we had a night off.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been after a show.
Yeah, no, that's usually never. But I remember you were in the pool and you're like, the water is so wet.
I was like, it was so wet.
And then Billy had to leave.
And then Billy had to leave.
Yeah.
That was it. It was.
Yep. Did the fire department get called?
Oh, I don't know, maybe, but not for us. For
Not
us?
for us. No.
Oh yeah, they did because we were in the elevators and I was freaking out because I was like, what the fuck? Because that hotel is so cool. You know how it's laid out. You know.
Yeah, it's
like,
an older hotel.
But it's laid out because it's a very California hotel. You know what I mean? But that particular one, because it's on the fairgrounds, is laid out like a grotto, all weird and shit. You know, it's really cool. I don't even know what it's called. It's the hotel right next to Marin County Fairgrounds.
Yeah, I remember.
There was one time I made everybody walk around the wrong way. Was that the night? And all we had to do was walk out the back.
I think so, yeah. That might have been when we took that photo of Billy for the old dust.
Oh, we have that somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I have that somewhere. That's great. We got to get that up on the background one day when he's up there. Oh, and I spoke to Billy. He's going to come on.
Okay, good. He can do this.
He says it has to be when you know, he could talk, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And he says there's only one computer in the house and nobody has to be around.
Okay.
That's right. So here's our first big tease: the Billy Crater career retrospective.
Mm-hmm.
The Godfather of sound himself, old Doc Brown himself, old Rick Sanchez.
Have you seen his beard?
Yeah, he's got a beard.
He's got a white beard.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
for Billy.
You know,
our Billito.
Oh, Billito.
Yes.
I just want to kiss and filito you up.
So, do you have any more set lists there?
No, those are the only ones I found.
Oh, I thought you were holding two for the end. Or
no,
did you
those two is the Cheap Trick one and the Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, the Cheap Trick one's really cool. I really like that.
It's really cool because it's a hand drawn picture on the back, and it's definitely, I'm pretty sure Rick drew it.
Nice.
I don't know. I mean, I want to try and get Dax on here.
I think he would.
I think he would.
They're great. I mean, definitely some of their crew would come on because they're all pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I like, you know, who would have definitely came on? Larry, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Miss him. It's been over a year. I think 2 years almost. 1 year at least.
I know. You know, like, actually, we did 2 shows in a row with Cheap Trick the day before he passed away.
That's right. You did tell me that.
And one of their other techs called me literally right before we were going on to do another show. Like, we were about to, like, call, like, all right, go to show. And then I got a call from him. And he was like,
Dude,
yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
Yeah, one of the greatest guitar techs of all time.
Yeah. He was a good hang, a lot of fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Were you there? Was it Little Kids Rock?
He was there for that, yeah.
Yeah, Dax and we were all staying in the city and 27th Street, and we all partied with Dax and Larry and the whole Cheap Trick, you know, Blackheart crew.
Sure.
And all and I think, I'm not sure if Hal was there, but a bunch of people had come from after that show. We all hung out at Mustang Sally's on 7th Avenue and partied that place out till the end. Me, Larry, Dax, me, and we partied, and Brandon was there. It was bad.
I feel like I might have been there for a little bit, but I probably didn't stay long.
Well, you know, either you might have been living
I don't think I was staying in. I probably had to get a train.
Staten Island or something.
Yeah, if I had to go back to Long Island or Staten Island, the trains don't run that late getting out of New York City.
Yeah, that's true.
If you miss that 2 a.m. one, you're stuck there till 5 a.m. in Penn Station, you know?
That's true. Little Stevens. I have those. Yeah, so I have those set lists. I also have great footage of that show. Great footage.
I would love to see. Which I can't find anywhere. Is Mike Ness singing "Love Is Pain"?
I know who has it, and they don't put it out.
It's so good. Like I just want it for myself. Like I just want to watch it.
It's the best version cover of a Jones song ever.
Yeah. Like I went up to him after. I was like, "That was the coolest version of Love Is Pain." Like obviously, besides Joan doing it, that is like the coolest version I've ever seen anyone like cover song.
You know, that was really a good show. That was really a good one. We spent 2 days in there with Steven. You weren't in rehearsals. You came to the show, right?
Yeah, I came to the show.
So we spent 2 days with little Steven, Hal, Bobby Bandieri, who was the band leader, musical director, which Hal, that's a whole nother thing. Hal, comes from the Jersey Shore scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he was at the show. Well, also he's the Broadway bass player for Rock of Ages at the time. So he's just an excellent musician. We're going to work real hard to get him on.
I did see Rock of Ages, but I didn't know how then.
I never saw it. The only two
I loved it.
I mean, you know what I liked better than any, I thought that could have been better than any Broadway show. You know who they should have put on Broadway and did a show with?
Oh.
Steel Panther.
Yes, I love them.
Because remember the House of Blues? Oh, we're just going through stories now.
Yes.
Oh, but all right, let's talk about that another time. We'll save that one. But I believe that like Steel Panther should have had the Broadway show. A Broadway show.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would go to that.
I would.
Every night.
Every night. What a good time. That was classic. That was classic touring, for us those days.
Mm-hmm.
That was a classic tour in LA. Fucking Steel Panther. I showed up with like 6 joints, remember?
Steel Panther and Joey Fatone
singing. He was up there. I guess we'll tell the story now.
Yeah,
right?
with them. But I'll just tell that. But that was just like such a great.
I was there that night. Yeah.
He
just gets up and starts singing with them.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful. The harmony is beautiful. Singing about balls.
Yeah, it was really great. It was really awesome. That was a really good show. I mean, we had great times in Hollywood. We'll do an LA. We could do a Hollywood episode and talk about some of that stuff which would tie into the Rancid and
that's true.
The other stuff, ShiraGirl. We should try and get ShiraGirl too.
Yeah, she'll get on here.
She'll come on for sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot of history, me and her, with Joan and Warped Tour, and then you guys have a lot of history also.
Yeah, because she got us on a bunch of Warped Tours too and stuff. Yeah. And
I was with Shira during the Flash days, and Flash OD'd and died. She was their guitarist, and Lux went on to play with the Horror Pops. She became really big. She plays in high heel stilettos. The only chick drummer that I know of.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
Lux. Oh, yeah. I loved her. We were close.
Seen her with Necromantics, maybe.
That's it. Necromantics.
Yeah.
My fault. Not Horror Pops. Necromantics, which is even insane.
Yeah.
She's an excellent drummer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but we have so much stuff. We'll do a whole LA In-N-Out burger review. I know.
I was just saying the other day I miss In-N-Out burger so bad. I want an animal style something.
I want an animal style.
Oh, you know who else? We could just keep talking about people that we should get on here. We should get Randy. Talk about King of Disneyland.
Well, really. That's you know what? We'll do a West Coast, the famous West Coast trip where we were out there for a week and we all went to Disneyland and hung out and saw fucking the Steel Panther and fucking got high as fuck. But that's another story. We have to. I texted him a while ago. He didn't really respond.
I talked to Randy.
Yeah, but he might have just been busy or pissed at me. But talk about guy that has memorabilia on his wall.
Oh yeah, that's true. He does have a lot of memorabilia.
You know what? We should get him in, and we should do like at least a couple with him.
Yeah, because
he was part of it.
Yeah, well, he was a merch guy for the Blackhearts for a little bit. We met him at the Marin County Fair.
That's right.
That's the first time I hired him as a merch guy because he was working with Steel Pulse, and I needed a merch person, and they were there like the next night or the night before, so he stayed an extra day. And I was like, oh, he's an awesome merch guy. So anytime we went out to that area, I was like, I got my merch guy, I got Randy. So
that's right. We will definitely talk to him soon. He might be, he might be a priority for us to try and talk to.
Yeah, I could totally get Randy on.
Oh, I know you.
I know he's in Vegas now.
Oh, he moved out of California.
Yeah.
But he was shooting back and forth at that time anyway, back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Mm-hmm. Well, now we've got some good stuff. I guess this is number 2, right?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know how. Yeah, sure. Episode 2.
No, wait, the heart.
Oh, yeah. Ready? Hold on.
Wait, ready?
There we go.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh.
I got it.
Oh, hold on. Wait.
There we go.
Blackheart Crewicide. Oh. Me, Zach, and Billy used to do that before every gig. We'd be like, "Yo, how's the good luck?"
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. We got to do some fun stuff, and we have so much to talk about, and it's gonna be good getting it out. We're gonna try and do these as often as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, we're running out of shit to say,
I mean, we could always say more shit about stuff. We did Setlists today. We did a little bit of LA teasing, and who else we may or may not get on the podcast, but I think it could work.
That's true.
We got Donnie next week.
That's right. Oh, we can officially say it, right?
Yeah, Donnie the drum tech.
That's right, Donnie. Blackheart Drum Tech will be here next week, and he will be talking about, there's a couple of Texas people in the loop, but he's our Texas guy, and we'll see what's going on down there. And he's also good friends with an old buddy of mine, RHINO.
Oh yeah, RHINO's
We could probably get him and RHINO on, or get RHINO on and on one with him again. Do another one with him and RHINO. RHINO is a legend in the industry. When we did Warped Tour, RHINO took care of Less Than Jake, No Effects, Bouncing Souls.
Yeah.
And I believe he was doing just those 3. And I think at one point he was on Against Me's crew that time too. He might have been helping out,
Yeah, he was like, I remember being on, I think, one of the tours, and he was working for like 3 or 4 bands.
He works for 3 or 4 bands at a time, and that's nothing. And he's one of the coolest dudes. And we're going to check out his site, Jeff Newman Photography.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He's got, I don't want to give his real name away, but check out his site, Jeff Newman Photography.
Yeah.
But we'll check it out. We'll talk about that. I'm sure we can get him on. I've got his number.
Yeah.
He worked for Tenacious D. I got a great story about that, and I'll tell when he gets on.
Ooh. I did see him earlier. Well, I guess the last few people I saw this year was I did see Dax and Todd from Cheap Trick Crew, and I did see RHINO this year at NAMM. That that was really our last outing.
Was he working a booth for his drums?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Donnie will tell us all about that next week. All right.
Yeah.
Because that's a plug show too, because Donnie and him know each other, and the deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Donnie's a drum guy. Donnie's a drum guy. Let him talk about the drum stuff.
He can talk about the drum stuff. I remember actually just the last thing about Donnie. Well, actually, it was a private show, maybe a year ago. I don't remember what it was for, but literally, like, you were there, Donnie, Brandon, Derek, and Ed. There was 5 drum techs at one gig.
Oh God, what was that?
I don't know. It was a private event in the city at a
Hammerstein.
Hotel.
Was it a Hammerstein?
No, it was I think it was at a hotel or something.
Because I did a private party when Derek was there. Oh no, that was different. Kevin was there too. That was different. But I remember, Derek was there. I can't remember where it was.
Yeah.
I might have the set list. It was 17 or 18, maybe?
I don't
Maybe.
I don't think a full year, but
He does Flogging Molly, and we gotta get him and Murchie. I told him Murchie already.
Right. Oh no, he does Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah.
But him and Murchie know each other.
Yeah. Well, Derek was the drummer for Big D and the Kids Table too, and he tour managed Big D while they were on Warped Tour too.
He's a great guy, Derek. Great.
Yeah.
I love him.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get him on here. Wow, and these are you know what? Some of these people we're talking about, like RHINO, Derek, Randy, these are great people, and these are just the people that we thought of off the top of the head. It's not even the people that I have listed up and you have listed up.
Right.
These are just Blackheart associated, that we know. I mean, I got some fucking old school guys that are lined up.
Yeah.
I'm talking. We got Warren Lee promised to come on the show, and he is Slayer's tech. He's also in the New York hardcore scene, and he's like a regular at the network. He's a network on-site network tech. You know what I mean? So like he is big time. He's gonna talk about what he's done and shit he's done with Slayer through the years.
Yeah,
and
I did want to talk a little bit to Billy about Slayer too, because he has that story of the speakers blew him away.
Where at the Revolver gig?
It was in Portland you were there, right?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, it was with Rob Zombie and Slayer
and Joan.
No, Joan was we were there on an
okay, all right.
But yeah, we went and Billy got blown away by the speakers.
He was like, Slayer!
Oh, yeah.
Kick Old Man Crater to a Slayer show.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, and Brian Hartley was doing lights for Rob Zombie.
Oh, that's right. Then he's Billy's old buddy.
Yeah, so it was like, it's funny how you go to all these shows and stuff, and it's like someone's worked for Blackheart. Everyone has a connection at some point. So
that's what I'm saying. It's really funny, but I mean, we're gonna have a lot of fun as soon as we can, and it's gonna start with Donnie next week. Because once, the stories are great, you and I, but once we get someone else in the mix, forget about it. Then I start remembering shit I forgot, and you too.
Yeah.
Because someone else there remembers it, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I guess on that note, we've teased a lot, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a good teaser episode.
I mean, yeah, the first one was good. The second one teases into what we're going to get into, so throw it at ya!
Yes.
But, how's Jimmy?
He's good. He just got home. But yeah.
He knows I love him.
He loves you too. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I put up some memorabilia for the Who. Did you see the Who stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you that picture.
Cool. Yeah.
I used the floating frame thing, and I put the passes so it looks like they're all like.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, yeah. I mean, sure, why not? It's almost an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? What do we do? Oh, it says leave studio.
Oh no, I was saying talk about thanks guys for listening.
I'm like, leave studio?
Get out of the room.
All right, you want to sum it up or you want to do it?
Sure. All right.
Ahead. I did the opening. You could close it.
I'm the closer. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Annie Stoic. We have Beef Henderson with us for the Crewicide podcast. And we'll see you next week. Make sure to subscribe to the channels, give us likes, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Is that good?
That was great. Fade out and awesome. That was awesome.
You got the intros. I got the outros.
All right. Deal.
Crewicide! 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 Crewicide!